And today I want to talk about the significance of the imagery of the tree of life. Now, I brought up some pictures to convey the tree of life, but for some reason I can't seem to get them onto my screen. So I'm just going to ask you guys to close your eyes for a moment and imagine this is a very popularized image, and that is the image of the Celtic tree. This is in the style of Celtic knot art. It's a tree where there's a tree that weaves up into the circle of life, and there's a more weaving that is the trunk, and then there is weaving as the roots. And the roots meet the circle of life, as do the branches. And in this Celtic Celtic knot art, it creates this beautiful image of what people refer to as the tree of life. Now, the tree of life is an image that is used across many, many cultures, mystery school teachings. And when something spans across many different teachings from different continents, from different cultures, that means that it's really significant. There's something about it that is irreplaceable, okay? And this is what I really want to decode for you guys, because the veils are lifting and we are faced with the daunting task of reintegrating our fragmentations. We are faced with the daunting task of reclaiming our ancestry, healing our ancestry, healing our souls, the injuries or the different mechanisms within our akasha to reclaim more life force energy. We are also faced with this daunting task of navigating this very complicated world full of inversions, reversals, deceptions, and lies with truth. With we need to navigate these ways. And this tree of life teaching is really, at least I hope, is going to give you guys some profound clarity on why you're doing what you're doing and how it plays into the bigger picture. Okay, so many contemporary shamanic teachers also talk about when they journey to using the tree of life, as in the trunk of the tree is the middle world, which is the realm of the mother. And then the roots of the tree is the underworld, which is all that has the ancestors, but also all that has been lost and forgotten. Other teachings elaborate further it's the telluric realm, the realms in the underrealms, underworlds like this. And then you have the branches of the tree, which is the upper world, also the realm of the ancestors, the realm of our star parents, the realm of our cosmic connections, and our connection to Creator. Now, when we're talking about these veils are lifting and it's revealing aspects of us that are not in congruency, that are not integrated within that the congruency of the universal tree. And there are other depictions of the tree of life, like from the Kabbalah and different other teachings. I'm not talking about that, okay? Those are very specific lineage teachings about decoding and unlocking encodements and wells of knowledge and energy, stuff like this. And many of those trees have been, in my opinion, corrupted. But we stick to nature. We stick to the simplicity of nature. Think of a massive oak or a eucalyptus tree or a cacao tree or a lightning tree. Think about how those beings exist in our reality. This will be much closer to the vibration of the incorruptible truth. So as the false matrix came in and influenced the consciousness of humanity, which took many, many generations, it severed us from parts of ourselves, very important parts of ourselves. For example, in the Western world, the family unit is extremely fragmented. It's very rare to see a household with the 3 generations within it. It's very rare for multiple branches of a family to be living under the same roof. When, if you went back 50 years, 100 years, it was very, very common for this to happen. So what happens when we get disconnected from our lineage, disconnected from our ancestors, we get disconnected from our history, which means it becomes forgotten. That means the truth of that reality gets forgotten, and the energy of this descends into the underworld. It descends into where the roots of the tree are. Okay? And when we have unhealed wounds between us and our ancestors, say us and our parents, or maybe our parents had a falling out with their parents, or maybe uncles had a falling out with an aunt, or any of these things, this all, and it doesn't get talked about, it goes to the grave with them. That energy doesn't just doesn't cease to exist. It still exists, but it descends into the underworld. It descends into where those roots reside. And the less we know about our heritage and our ancestors, the more shadow resides in the underworld. Now, the shadow is not just ancestors. The shadow is also lost and forgotten and rejected aspects of ourselves. So if we had a childhood where there's a lot of shame and guilt used to extort love or whatever, we have loads of aspects of ourselves that we have rejected, we have walled off, closed away, and that now resides in the underworld. Now, the trunk of the universal tree is what we're aware of. It's what's in our face. It's what this 3D realm, what we can identify, work with, and look at within this 3D realm. Okay, that's pretty simple. So you can energetically travel through this 3D realm and touch and identify things. You can heal things, stuff like this. And then you have the branches of the tree. And the branches of the tree, you have to first pass through the collective field to get to the more celestial, galactic, cosmic knowledge within that tree. And again, in order to pass through that field, you need to be capable of doing your own shadow work. Okay? And what I mean by shadow work, that means alchemizing aspects of self that you discover that perhaps you don't like, or perhaps that are made wrong or shamed or whatever. And as you do this, as you heal these aspects in the shadow realm and as shadow work, you become more free to navigate the branches of this tree. And there are very powerful mechanisms within this false matrix that makes it difficult to navigate the upper world of this tree. Okay. And we see it all playing out right here, right now, in our current reality. And this is a huge reason why it's so important that we talk to our elders. We get the stories of the important events that happened in their lives. For example, we have this whole new battle happening within the Middle East. It's old but new. Okay, the narrative that's being talked about, that's being proliferated, all this stuff. If you feel what's happening in your body with your truth compass, there's a lot of strife, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of bent upness, there's a lot of, happening, and confusion happening. And because of that, people just want to check out and not pay attention. But it's really important that we pay attention because we need to be able to unravel the lies and see the truth. And this is where being in connection with our elders would come in, okay? Talking to people who have been alive for the past 80 years. What is their personal knowledge of the history between these two factions, okay? When you talk to an elder that has lived through the different seasons of the cultivation of the conflict, you will get a very, very, very different story than the one propagated. And you can tell this because you can tell that when it's the truth or not, because your body will have an ease to it and clarity will be present. Okay. And so in this way, an ancestral story, an ancestral connection can help you decode the confusion, the lies, and the inversions in that canopy, in that collective field, so you can then connect even more deeply with your star elders, more deeply with the galactic, more deeply with the cosmic. Okay. And why do you want to do this? You want to do this so you yourself becomes an intact universal tree of life, as in nothing in the shadow realm can have control over you, right? You have presence within the trunk of the tree, the trunk of the reality within the dream of the mother. You are present for, and you are not controlled by fear, aversions, threats, okay? And your connection with the divine, the connection with the high upper realms of who you are, aka your higher self, is absolutely incorruptible. That is an empowered, multi-dimensional being, a sovereign being.